Hi guys and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be making Popin Cookin candy kits, which I just got from London. If you've been following me on Instagram, you'll know that I was there last week and I bought so much stuff from Japan Center. This was also inspired by one of the first videos I ever made for Macaroon. I've linked that right here if you want to check it out. In that video, I used a Popin Cookin kit to make slightly different candies. So this time I thought, since Squishies are so popular right now, I'm going to try making a candy version using the stuff that we get in here. If you're new here, then a big welcome, and don't forget to become a Cutinator by subscribing to Cute Life Hacks and Macaroon. So the first kit I'm going to make is this Popin Cookin bento box. Start by cutting off the measuring cup from the corner here. Then cut out the bento box illustration from the plastic wrapper, which I think is an absolutely amazing example of packaging design. Make sure that you don't accidentally rip into this when you're first opening up the kit. Now cut open the blue packet and pour that into the container. Add 2 measuring cups of water and mix everything thoroughly. This creates a fluffy candy that looks a bit like sushi rice. Instead of making the bento design from the kit, I'm going to try creating a cat squishy using this. Next, cut open this packet containing black powder, which is supposed to look like nori seaweed. I'm simply going to mix this with some rice to create a darker shade to use for the eyes. Now take this strawberry flavored powder that can be used to create the fake hot dog octopus. Simply pour it into the mold and add 1 cupful of water. I also used some of this to create the nose and fur markings. So now my edible squishy cat is complete. To finish everything up, I'm going to make the remaining bento food, which includes a green broccoli and a yellow omelette. Just pour the powder into the mold, add 1 cupful of water, stir everything together and wait for it to set. You also get this powder for making tiny meatballs, which I actually think looks more like fried chicken. I wish I knew what was inside these powders because I think it's amazing that each one ends up with slightly different textures. And lastly, you get a tiny piping bag which you can use to create noodles. Simply mix the final packet of powder with water to create a paste, and then fill the bag with it. Then cut off a tiny corner of the plastic and squeeze out the mixture. Now it's time to arrange everything onto your bento box. The fruit-flavored candies take a bit of time to set, so be sure to take those out very carefully. This yellow one is supposed to be a tamagoyaki, which is a rolled Japanese omelette. Unfortunately, mine didn't set properly, so I wasn't able to roll it and it ended up more like a blob of jelly. However, I'm still really happy with how cute this edible bento box turned out. Be sure to watch this video to the very end, where I'm going to be taste testing everything. The second kit is for making rainbow gummy sweets. This one is absolutely fascinating and I couldn't wait to try it out myself. First, pop out all the tools, which include some plastic shapes and a tiny fork. These cutters are great for all types of DIYs, so be sure to keep them afterwards. This kit actually comes in many versions, and each one contains different shaped cookie cutters, which you can check through the window here. Start by pouring all the powder from the green packet into the largest compartment, and then smooth down the surface using the fork. Now add the red, yellow and blue powders to the smaller compartments and squeeze in some water. Take your pipette and mix equal amounts of each liquid together to create purple, green, and orange. I think this kit is pretty incredible considering that it's a children's toy, but it teaches you a lot about color theory. And in case you're wondering why there's so many empty compartments here, there's actually a very secret geeky explanation for that, which I'll tell you in a bit. When you're ready to get started, place a plastic cutter into the powder. Now use your pipette to pull up the liquid and drop them randomly inside the shape. This magically turns the powder into a colorful gummy jelly, and I seriously can't figure out how they do this. Once you're done, simply pop the candy out of the mold and repeat with another one. For best results, try to work quickly and pay extra attention to small or narrow places. Add more liquid to these areas to make sure they don't break when you try to take them out of the cutter. So here's a little bit of trivia which I think many people don't know about this kit. The official name is called Okaki Gummy Land. Okaki means to draw in Japanese, but it was also the common name for browser-based drawing programs from the early days of the internet. This was like the late 90s, early 2000s, so well before YouTube or Instagram existed. Back then, many website guestbooks or bulletin boards had a simple program that allowed you to draw a picture instead of leaving a comment. I was deep in the manga scene at that point, so all of my online artist friends used to spend hours drawing okakis for each other. I'm positive that this kit was inspired by those internet okaki boards because the layout looks almost identical. You basically pick out your colors on one side and then you get to draw whatever you want in the main screen. This is also the reason why there's so many water compartments which you don't actually need for the kit. They're simply there as a nostalgic tribute to those old okaki interfaces. The final kit is also the simplest. It only consists of 2 powders and a small packet of sweets. Add the first packet into the main compartment and then add 1 measuring cup of water. Now add the second packet and stir until combined. This one reminds me so much of making slime because the mixture starts getting thicker and fluffier the more you stir it. I guess it's the closest thing you can find to an edible slime. And of course, I would love to know what's inside Popin Cookin. If any of you guys have an idea what might be inside these powders, then please leave it as a comment below, so I might even be able to make a DIY version. You're supposed to eat this one by dipping the fluffy candy into the hard sweets. So now let's give everything a try. Okay, so I finished all 3 Popin Cookin kits. I have my bento box with an edible cat-shaped squishy. And then I've got these rainbow jelly candies that were made from powder. And then I have this nice fluffy slime-like marshmallow sweet. So I have to try these out, I guess. Let me try the first one. This one was actually very soft when I made it, but after a while it just sort of dries up and it's not very bendy, but this one. The thing about this one is that it looks like it should be very sweet or very sour, but it isn't. So when you bite into it, it just feels like soft jelly. It feels almost slightly soapy because it's just not really sort of extremely sweet. I mean, I'd prefer it to be extremely sweet because it's a candy, but it doesn't taste very sweet and it doesn't taste very sour. It's just kind of a weird jelly-like texture. Not a huge fan of this one. So the next one is the bento box. There's several different kinds in here. First is this noodle thing, which is kind of dried up. I think this is supposed to be grape flavored. It's also not very sweet, so it tastes very strange. It's sort of like, it's basically like flour and water mixed into a paste with a bit of grape flavoring, and there's almost no sugar inside, so this tastes really not great. And now there's this. I think this is supposed to be the fried chicken, or like So this one is slightly better because it's not very sweet, but it has this jelly texture. So to me, it feels like the bobas in bubble tea. It literally feels like you're eating a boba, which is not that bad, and it's normal bubble tea isn't very sweet either. So it's okay. And now we have our poor little cat. I actually made this video in German, so I had to bite off one part of the cat already. So I know how this one tastes like, and I'm gonna take the other half of his head. This is not that bad because it tastes like bubblegum, which I like, and it has a very strange texture. It's a bit like rice, which is not something that you expect from a candy. So it's soft, obviously, which is why I thought I'd make an edible squishy, but it's not soft in the same way as a marshmallow. It's soft in the same way like sushi rice, and that's not exactly something that you associate with candy. So it's okay. It's not the worst thing out of all this, but it's not the best thing either. And I feel kind of sad because I've eaten my cat. These Popin Cookin jelly powder sweets, like you get these in almost every kit, and I'm not even going to bite into it because I've tasted this before and it's really not good. Like this smells like strawberry, but it doesn't taste like anything. It's not sweet, it's not sour, it's not really jelly-like. It's just kind of just like a weird pasty texture. Not eating that. And also this egg thing didn't really come together, so this looks like slime. Like this literally looks like sort of slime that didn't quite come together. And it smells like lemon, but it kind of tastes like slime as well. If it's like an edible slime. And lastly, this is exactly the same. This little broccoli. It's also supposed to be grape flavored, but it's not really amazing. So anyway, on to the last one. This, funnily enough, is actually my favorite out of all three, even though it was the simplest one to make. This one has a very sort of fluffy, it looks like marshmallow fluff. So it's like a marshmallow fluff texture. It almost looks like a slime, if you like that. I mean, it's like you could call this an edible slime. And you're supposed to scoop this up and then mix it with these sort of little candy pieces. And the reason I like this is because this one is super sour. This one is sort of it's got that sherbet, lemon soda kind of flavor. And these little pieces are very sweet. So you have a really nice contrast between like the sour, fluffy slime candy and these really hard little sweet candy pieces. Ooh. Yeah, it's like a bubble gum. I think the flavor is supposed to be soda. So it's a mixture between bubble gum and lemon flavor. But this is probably the only one I could actually eat completely if I had to. The other two are more just for fun. I mean, I'm not going to finish eating these. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to check out my Instagram as well, and my username is macaroon, which is linked right up here. I'm Joanna, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!